My name is Kelcie Murphy, and I had previously studied Arabic with the NSLI-Y program in Rabat, Morocco this prior summer of 2015. And coming back from Morocco, I decided I wanted to take a gap year to take some time to travel and hopefully teach English abroad. And so my presentation is a little short and sweet, just trying to help students find some resources if they're interested in teaching English abroad, and just kind of highlighting some of the things I did in the Palestinian West Bank. So I had just gotten back from spending about 3 months in the Middle East, and for the most of that time that I was there, I taught English for a few different groups in the Palestinian West Bank city of Hebron, known in Arabic as El Khalil. And not only did I get to teach English abroad, but I got to kind of understand the situation over there, and especially living in this area called H2. Hebron is a divided city where half of it is controlled by the Palestinian Authority, or more than half, about 80%, and the 20% that I lived in H2 is controlled by the Israeli military, so I got to see occupation on the first hand. And I just got to see daily life over there, which was something more than I could have asked for. Some different resources to teaching English abroad. A lot of people would first start off with getting their TEFL certification, which is teaching English as a foreign or second language. And there are many different groups you could do that with. A lot of them are certification processes that take roughly 120 hours to get accredited. And when it comes to teaching English abroad, especially in the Arab world, a lot of groups don't necessarily require you to have that certification because they just so desperately need English teachers, especially native English teachers. One of the ways that I found some of the groups that I was teaching English for was the idealist.org, which is just an organization that helps students or young people connect with internships or volunteer work abroad and domestically. So like what I did, I typed in the West Bank because I knew I was going to be over in that area, and found different groups. And then you go through like the application and the interview process, and I ended up working for the Casa Training Center and the Hebron Rehabilitation Committee in Ahmed East, West Bank, Gaza. But other ways you could do that as NSLI-Y alumni would be if you had yes language partners. So, for example, in Morocco, not only did we learn Modern Standard Arabic and Darija, which is the dialect over there, we had yes language partners. So they were Moroccan students who had studied in America and came back to Morocco, and they spent part of their time teaching us the colloquial dialect. And so if you have those connections, you can network with your friends over there. And when it came to my Moroccan friends who had done the Yet Kennedy Yes Uglar program, they had connected me with other Yes students who were Palestinian, and so I got a network through that. You could also find opportunities through your implementing group like Ahmed East, iEARN, etc. And so essentially I taught English for the Casa, HRC, and I did a little work with Ahmed East, but the Casa Training Center is just a training center that provides language services to Palestinians in Hebron, predominantly English and Hebrew. And then the Hebron Rehabilitation Committee, I taught to the staff, but the HRC is essentially run by the Palestinian Authority, and it's a group that tries to revitalize the old city of Hebron and the infrastructure and halt settler expansion into the old city. Most of my work was done at the Casa Training Center, where I spent about 25 hours a week there teaching to various levels. I had students from high school and college, and then those who were learning English for work. And so a lot of our English was kind of based on conversational skills and talking about discussion topics and daily life. So not only was it kind of a job for me, but I got to understand life over in the West Bank, because those were the things we could talk about with their English language capabilities. And so using my NSLI Arabic skills, Modern Standard Arabic gave me a greater ability to connect with locals, even though they spoke the EMEA dialect, because the two are very similar. whereas in Morocco it was very difficult because modern standard Arabic is greatly different than Moroccan Arabic, where Moroccan Arabic is very mixed in with French and Amazigh. I could teach English more efficiently, knowing how Arabic functions, and my students could understand me better because of that. People would open up to me more frequently about daily life, struggles, and their aspirations, and I could network more effectively. That is how I got in contact with Ahmadiyist. I had no intention of working with Ahmadiyist over there, but you know, in places like that where it is so small, you get to know people and make connections that way. So I got to work with Ahmadiyist. I was offered to teach like a native English course at the University of Bethlehem. And so once you kind of get the ball moving, things happen more quickly for you. And those opportunities just expand greatly. And I could perfectly function and manage my way around the West Bank as a young single woman. And Arabic greatly helped me with that. And people also kind of respected me more for knowing Arabic instead of coming as a tourist. So it was quite a lovely opportunity. And I got to explore the beautiful Palestinian West Bank. So I got to go to not only places like Hebron, but refugee camps, Bethlehem, Ramallah, and these I'd go to by myself, and I could, you know, perfectly get around. And I got to see the West Bank.